It was the summer of 1999. My team and I were working on building a new underground bunker in a remote forest. Our task was simple: to construct a safe shelter capable of withstanding any disasters. But what we discovered during the excavations changed our lives forever. At first, everything was going as usual. We dug, we built, we joked occasionally. But when we reached a certain depth, we found strange symbols on the walls. It was something incomprehensible, but we decided not to pay attention to it and continue our work. But with each passing day, strange things began to happen. We heard strange sounds coming from the depths of the bunker, as if someone was whispering in our ears, but when we turned around, no one was there. Some of us began to see ghosts or feel like someone was watching us. After a few weeks, one of the workers disappeared. We conducted an extensive search, but never found him. We all began to understand that something sinister was happening in this bunker, but it was already too late to stop. One day, while I was working alone at the back of the bunker, I felt like someone was following me. Turning around, I saw a shadow, and it was something other than human. I ran out of the bunker, but the shadow pursued me. I felt like it wanted to tell me something, but I was afraid to hear it. Since then, I never went back into the bunker, but strange things continued to happen. Some of our team claimed to hear voices calling them back. Others saw ghosts standing in the corridors. With each passing day, the bunker seemed more ominous and dangerous. We realized that something was wrong and decided to abandon the construction. But as we left the site, I heard a whisper behind me, as if someone was saying my name. Since then, I couldn't forget that bunker and what lurked in its depths. I always feel like it's watching me, waiting for the moment when I'll return. Years have passed since we abandoned the construction of the bunker, but its dark presence continued to haunt me. The memory of that eerie place lingered in my mind like a relentless specter, refusing to fade with time. Despite my efforts to move on, I couldn't shake the feeling that something unfinished remained within those underground corridors. The whispers, the shadows, they followed me wherever I went, a constant reminder of the secrets buried beneath the earth. As the years went by, I tried to bury my memories of the bunker deep within my subconscious. I focused on building a new life, a life far away from that haunted forest. But fate has a way of leading us back to our past, whether we like it or not. One stormy night, a letter arrived at my doorstep. It was from an old colleague, someone who had shared in the horrors of the bunker. The message was brief yet chilling. They found something terrible. Meet me at the old site. Against my better judgment, I found myself drawn back to the forest where it all began. The journey was fraught with trepidation, each step echoing with the memories of that fateful summer. But I couldn't ignore the call of the past, the need to confront the demons that still haunted me. Arriving at the site, I was greeted by an eerie silence. The air hung heavy with foreboding, as if the very earth itself held its breath in anticipation. My colleague emerged from the shadows, his eyes haunted by the same ghosts that tormented my dreams. Together we descended into the depths of the abandoned bunker, guided by a sense of duty mingled with dread. As we ventured deeper, the symbols on the walls seemed to pulse with a sinister energy, as if warning us of the horrors that lay ahead. And then we found a chamber concealed behind a false wall, untouched by the passage of time. Within its confines lay a relic of unspeakable evil, a relic that should have remained buried forever. But now it stirred once more, awakening from its slumber to wreak havoc upon the world. As darkness descended upon the forest, I realized that our journey was far from over. The nightmare of the bunker had returned, and we were its unwilling custodians. The only question that remained was whether we would succumb to its darkness or fight to banish it once and for all. The discovery of the ancient relic in the depths of the bunker unleashed a wave of terror that spread like wildfire through the forest. Its malevolent presence seemed to infect the very air, twisting the once serene surroundings into a realm of nightmares. My colleague and I knew that we had stumbled upon something beyond our understanding, something that threatened not only our lives but the very fabric of reality itself. With grim determination, we vowed to confront this evil and put an end to its reign of terror. Armed with nothing but our wits and a sense of purpose, we delved deeper into the heart of the bunker, each step fraught with danger and uncertainty. The walls seemed to close in around us, whispering ancient secrets that sent shivers down our spines. But we pressed on, driven by the need to unravel the mystery of the relic and put an end to its dark influence. With each passing moment, the air grew heavier, as if suffused with the essence of evil itself. Finally, we reached the chamber where the relic lay dormant, its presence casting a pall of darkness over the room. As we approached, a sense of dread washed over us, threatening to engulf us in its icy embrace. With trembling hands, we reached out and touched the relic, unleashing its full power in a blinding flash of light. For a moment, everything seemed to stand still, as if time itself had frozen in anticipation of what was to come. And then, the darkness shattered, dissipating like mist in the morning sun. The relic crumbled to dust before our eyes, its malevolent influence vanquished by the strength of our resolve. As we emerged from the depths of the bunker, we knew that our journey was finally at an end. The nightmare that had haunted us for so long was over, replaced by a sense of peace and closure. But as we made our way back to the surface, I couldn't shake the feeling that the darkness still lingered, lurking in the shadows, waiting for its chance to return. And so, I vowed to remain vigilant, to ensure that the horrors of the bunker would never again be unleashed upon the world. Years passed since we confronted the darkness lurking within the depths of the bunker. Life returned to a semblance of normalcy, yet the memory of our harrowing ordeal remained etched in my mind like a scar, a constant reminder of the fragility of our world. But just when I thought the horrors of the past were behind me, a series of unsettling events began to unfold. Strange occurrences plagued the forest, once more whispers in the night, shadows dancing at the edge of vision, and inexplicable disappearances. Haunted by the specter of the bunker, I knew that the darkness had returned, more insidious than ever before. Determined not to let history repeat itself, I embarked on a quest to uncover the source of this new threat and put an end to it once and for all. Gathering a team of brave souls willing to confront the unknown, we delved back into the depths of the forest, guided by a sense of duty and the hope of banishing the darkness for good. But as we ventured deeper, it became clear that we were not alone. The forest itself seemed to conspire against us, twisting and warping into nightmarish shapes that defied logic and reason. Shadows danced in the moonlight, whispering secrets of forgotten horrors that stirred in the darkness. And then, we founded a gateway to a realm beyond our own, a realm of nightmares and despair. It was here that the true source of the darkness lay, a malevolent force that hungered for nothing less than the destruction of all that we held dear. With hearts heavy with fear yet brimming with resolve, we prepared to confront the darkness head-on. Armed with the knowledge that we had gained from our previous encounter, we stood united against the encroaching tide of evil, ready to face whatever horrors awaited us on the other side. As we stepped through the gateway, we knew that our journey was far from over. The fate of the world hung in the balance, and only by confronting the darkness within ourselves could we hope to emerge victorious. But as we gazed into the abyss, I couldn't help but wonder, would our efforts be enough to stem the tide of darkness, or were we merely delaying the inevitable? Only time would tell, as we ventured deeper into the unknown, prepared to face whatever horrors awaited us in the darkness beyond. As we ventured deeper into the realm beyond the gateway, the very fabric of reality seemed to unravel before our eyes. The air crackled with dark energy, and twisted corridors stretched out before us like the tendrils of some eldritch nightmare. With each step, the darkness grew more oppressive, pressing down upon us like a suffocating blanket. Whispers echoed through the shadows, taunting us with promises of doom and despair. But we pressed on, fueled by a determination to confront the source of the darkness and put an end to its reign of terror. We knew that failure was not an option. The fate of our world depended on our success. As we navigated the labyrinthine corridors, we encountered twisted creatures that defied description, grotesque amalgamations of flesh and bone, born from the darkest recesses of the human psyche. Yet we refused to be daunted, pressing forward with weapons drawn and hearts ablaze with righteous fury. Finally, we reached the heart of the darkness, a chamber bathed in an unholy light, where the source of the evil awaited us. It was a being of pure malevolence, its form shifting and twisting with every passing moment. With a defiant cry, we launched ourselves into battle, our weapons flashing in the darkness as we fought with all our strength and skill. The air was filled with the clash of steel and the roar of defiance as we waged war against the darkness itself. For what seemed like an eternity, we battled on, each blow striking a blow against the encroaching tide of evil. But just as it seemed that all hope was lost, a glimmer of light pierced the darkness, the light of hope, burning bright within each of our hearts. With a final, desperate effort, we struck down the source of the darkness, banishing it back to the depths from whence it came. As the chamber collapsed around us, we knew that our quest was at an end. The darkness had been vanquished, and our world was safe once more. As we emerged from the realm beyond the gateway, we were greeted by the warm light of the sun, shining down upon us like a beacon of hope. Our journey had been long and arduous, but in the end, we had prevailed. But even as we celebrated our victory, I knew that the darkness would always linger on the edges of our world, waiting for the chance to return. And so, I vowed to remain ever vigilant, ready to confront the darkness whenever it reared its ugly head once more. For as long as there were brave souls willing to stand against the forces of evil, our world would always be safe from the darkness that lurked in the shadows. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, life returned to a semblance of normalcy once more. The memory of our harrowing journey lingered in the back of our minds, a constant reminder of the darkness that had threatened to consume our world. But even as we went about our daily lives, a sense of unease lingered in the air. We knew that the darkness had not been fully vanquished. It merely lay dormant, biding its time until it could rise again. Despite our best efforts to forget, the memories of our encounter with the darkness haunted us like ghosts in the night. We would wake in cold sweats, our dreams plagued by visions of twisted corridors and malevolent creatures lurking in the shadows. And then, just when we thought that the darkness had been banished for good, a new threat emerged on the horizon. Rumors began to spread of strange happenings in the forest, disappearances, sightings of shadowy figures, and whispers of a presence lurking just beyond the edge of perception. Once again, I found myself drawn back to the forest, unable to ignore the call of duty that beckoned me forth. Gathering a new band of brave souls willing to confront the darkness, we ventured into the heart of the forest, determined to uncover the truth behind these sinister occurrences. But as we delved deeper into the shadowy depths of the forest, we realized that this new threat was unlike anything we had encountered before. The darkness had taken on a life of its own, twisting and warping the very fabric of reality itself. With each step, we could feel its malevolent presence closing in around us, suffocating us with its icy embrace. Yet still we pressed on, driven by a sense of duty and the hope of banishing the darkness once and for all. As we reached the heart of the forest, we were confronted by a sight that filled us with dread, a gateway to a realm beyond our own, where the darkness lay in wait, ready to consume us whole. Yet we refused to be daunted by the overwhelming sense of dread that threatened to consume us. With steely resolve, we pressed forward, guided by the flickering light of hope that burned within our hearts. The realm beyond the gateway was a twisted reflection of our own world, a nightmarish landscape where reality itself seemed to warp and bend to the will of the darkness. Shadows danced in the corners of our vision, whispering sinister secrets that sent shivers down our spines. But still, we pressed on, driven by the knowledge that the fate of our world hung in the balance. We encountered twisted creatures that defied description, grotesque abominations born from the darkest depths of the human psyche. With each confrontation, we fought with all our strength and skill, determined to overcome the darkness that threatened to consume us. Yet for every victory we achieved, it seemed that the darkness only grew stronger, its malevolent influence spreading like a plague. As we ventured deeper into the heart of the realm, we encountered the source of the darkness, a being of pure malevolence, its form shifting and twisting with every passing moment. It emanated a palpable aura of fear and despair, threatening to overwhelm us with its sheer presence alone. But we refused to back down in the face of such overwhelming odds. With a battle cry that echoed through the darkness, we launched ourselves into the fray, our weapons flashing in the gloom as we fought with all our strength and determination. For what seemed like an eternity, we battled against the darkness, each blow striking a blow against the encroaching tide of evil. And then, just when it seemed that all hope was lost, a glimmer of light pierced the darkness, the light of hope, burning bright within each of our hearts. With renewed determination, we redoubled our efforts, striking blow after blow against the source of the darkness. And finally, with one last desperate effort, we delivered the decisive blow that banished the darkness once and for all. As the darkness receded, we emerged victorious from the realm beyond the gateway, our hearts filled with a sense of triumph and relief. The nightmare was finally over, and our world was safe once more. But even as we celebrated our hard-won victory, I knew that the darkness would always linger on the edges of our world, waiting for the chance to return. And so, I vowed to remain ever vigilant, ready to confront the darkness whenever it reared its ugly head once more. For as long as there were brave souls willing to stand against the forces of evil, our world would always be safe from the darkness that lurked in the shadows.